Hey, it's Matt from the podcastsetup.com. Happy holidays. We're in that predictions mode. I might have missed the mark for getting my predictions into Podnews Weekly, but I have built something for Podnews Weekly called the Podnews Weekly Report 2025, brought to you by the Podcast Setup, not affiliated with Podnews, Podnews Weekly, James Cridlin, or the great Sam Sethi. This is a representation of some of the opportunities to use AI in the world of podcasting. It's not just about the transcripts and the editing with AI, and extending the experience of a podcast doesn't have to stop at like how great an audio player is on a mobile device or on your desktop or laptop. I think there are opportunities in podcasting of which AI helps you get there a little bit faster, at least for me, that extend a listener's experience, a community's experience, or somebody doing research about your particular niche podcast. Over here on the Podnews Weekly Report, what I've done is taken some AI tooling with Claude Code and one really pivotal piece of software, which is powered by Python. It's called Spacey, I believe I'm saying that correctly. It's industrial strength natural language processing. What I've done is, through the magic of Podcasting 2.0, I have ingested all of the Podnews Weekly transcripts, and through Claude Code and Spacey, I've built myself a database of sorts, of which I've analyzed these transcripts for certain keywords. So what we have here is 57 episodes analyzed since the start of 2025 for Podnews, and I can search some trends. I can do something like Apple and Spotify, compare this trend. It'll show me on the chart basically when these two brand names are being mentioned across the year, and we can kind of spot when James and Sam and potential guests are talking about these different moments. We also might do something like video and audio to see where that discussion happens. Are we seeing video spoken about a lot more at the start of the year in 2025? Looks like it's kind of up there, and we can even punch in and see 1,465 mentions versus 1,121 mentions of audio. Or if I was, the cunning type, I might look at my name and search for my name and see where it gets mentioned in Podnews. Coincidentally, this is when I was on Podnews Weekly for an interview talking about some stuff. These other little dips across the weeks are when I was being mentioned in the Power Supporter group. But for some reason, I haven't been mentioned in a few months, but I'm still paying my $5. What's the deal, James? Anyway, there's tons of great insights here, and what I will point you to is the About page. If you want to take a look at how this whole report is put together, and including my AI disclaimer, that a lot of this stuff is built by AI. It's being generated and analyzed by a lot of Python scripts that I have running locally, and I'm shipping it up to Cloudflare here. So the point is you should always check the citations. The data is only as good as the transcript itself. But what I'm trying to demonstrate here is, as a non-developer, I'm able to build these more, engaging reports to see like really cool trends that are happening. When are these podcast apps being mentioned? Maybe more than another. I can toggle this visibility on. Again, I can go YouTube to True Fans. This is a perfect example because I know that True Fans is definitely getting mentioned more than what we see here. But if you look at my About page, we break down how these keywords are put together. So again, if the transcript isn't finding, True Fans, the two words separated, or the words together as the brand name, or truefans.fm, it's going to miss some of that stuff. But you can still search directly here on the dashboard. So if you wanted to go in and search for, once again, we'll do True Fans. Let's just see what happens. It's going to find more than 100 results, and how I've sort of programmed it here is to give us that quote of its reference, and then we can go right to the website to listen to that. I tried developing it so that it would pass the timestamp to Buzzsprout, but their player doesn't support passing those timestamps. But use this as some inspiration. Use it as some research. If you're in the podcast industry with a capital P and a capital I, there's some great information here for you to dive into. One of the things I've written in the blog post, which goes into this in more detail, is we're inspired by AI to build things. There's that ability to do that now, right? You can be a non-developer and build, really cool and really powerful things, experiences beyond the audio player. If you are somebody who is, building a body of work with your podcast, what we're able to do is say, hey, look, big players like Google and YouTube, they're using all of this content to train their own data and to sell more ads and to sell more products and services. Why can't you build an experience like this with your body of work to do the same kind of thing, right? To train and educate your audience, to entertain your audience in a new way. If it's some kind of branded show for a bigger organization, why not build some kind of intelligence tools around the podcast, which has some great, human insights to expand that experience. And the last thing I'll leave you with here as an example, I have all of the episodes listed on the report as well. This is all the episodes we've pulled the transcripts from through the power of podcasting 2.0. Well, none of this stuff would be happening, right? We wouldn't get those transcripts because Podcasting 2.0 transcript tag has allowed me to ingest these transcripts without me having to make my own transcript. So that made it easy. And just for a more visual effect and a more engaging effect, I'm able to pull the person tag that James and Sam have set up so we can see the guests on a particular show and we can see the chapter art for all of these particular episodes. So if you just want to browse through and see what the different chapter art is, maybe something catches your eye, maybe another person catches your eye here and says, oh, this is the episode that they were on. It just helps engage the viewer, the listener a little bit more when they're looking at something. And again, thanks to the power of Podcasting 2.0 to bring those tags in and allow me to develop on top of that. And that's the big takeaway for me with this project, is to build something cool, something that is different than just a listening experience, something that's different than just a stuffy sort of industry report. Again, asterisk, all powered by AI. Double check your sources in the transcript. But hopefully it encourages you to do the same kind of thing. That's it. It's the Podnews Weekly Report. You can check it out here, wherever you're watching this. I have it linked up in GitHub as well. If you want to see the source code of the project, it's all running on Cloudflare. If you have any questions, I can try to answer that as best as I possibly can. You can even embed these right on your website. So if you want to embed this report on your site to share with others, that would be amazing. Podnews Weekly Report 2025 brought to you by the Podcast Setup, not affiliated with James Cridland or the great Sam Sethi. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to thepodcastsetup.com.